Honored guests, family, and friends, please take your seats and ensure that all cell phones are either turned off or set to silent mode. The ceremony will begin in approximately 2 minutes. I will do the same. Colonel Ochoa, Commencement Sergeant Major Stanley, family, friends, and other honored guests, welcome to the professional commencement ceremony for Womack Army Medical Center. It is with great honor that I host this event to celebrate the culmination of 4 years of hard work and dedication of our current Obstetrics and Gynecology Chief Residents. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Luis Correa. I currently serve as the Reproductive Endocrinology and Fertility Division Chief here at Womack. In this role, I educate, or at least try to in some cases, and evaluate the residents in a residency program. I have seen these officers grow through the years, from the time they looked like deer caught in the headlights to providing excellent and compassionate care to our patients nowadays. The ceremony is being recorded so each graduate will be able to share this accomplishment with family and friends via social media. Wherever you are in the country, we ask that you please stand for the invocation by Chaplain Sebo, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Staff Sergeant Cordell Foster.
Let us take this time to exercise our religious freedom. Please pray, contemplate, and meditate in your faith tradition as I pray in mine. Let us pray. Holy God, the creator of the universe, we've come today to thank you for your precious gift of life. We thank you, O God, for schools and educational opportunities. As this class of medical professionals graduate today, I lift this ceremony into your holy and loving hands. I pray, O God, that you will continue to lead and direct the faculties and staff of this program in the manner in which you want them to prepare your people. Dear Lord, kindly be with these graduates, bless them, and help them to faithfully and carefully practice medicine for the benefit and betterment of humanity. This I pray in your most holy and righteous name. Amen.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the
Please be seated. Our guest speaker today is Dr. Choi, Chief of Clinical Investigations here at Womack. Dr. Sammy Choi is a graduate of the University of Oklahoma School of Medicine and completed a combined internal medicine pediatrics residency at William Beaumont Army Medical Center at Fort Bliss in Texas. For over 30 years now, he has had the great privilege of working at Womack Army Medical Center. Dr. Choi has started numerous programs at WAMC. In 2008, he founded the Department of Research, and in 2016, the Cape Fear Research Consortium to build collaborative research with area institutions. Dr. Choi also co-directs the state of North Carolina's first Next-Gen Health Sector Partnership, which launched in June 2018 and includes collaboration with government, health, academic, profit, and nonprofit sectors. Dr. Choi's clinical and research interests include remote monitoring of soldiers with type 1 diabetes, human performance optimization, and metabolic health. He has led or been involved with national practice guideline and has over 100 peer-reviewed publications and extramural presentations. His knowledge and experience with research not only enables but allows our residents to thrive with their academic research. Despite all this hard work here at Womack, Dr. Choi still finds time to be a homeschooling father, active leader of several nonprofits, debate judge, and an avid cyclist. He has been married for 39 years, has 8 children and several grandchildren. Please welcome Dr. Choi.
Colonel Cho, Command Sergeant Major Stanley, Colonel Foglia, Colonel Wilson, and Colonel Correa, and of course, our graduating residents. Thank you for having me, and just as a little bit of a disclaimer, I am not a reproductive endocrinologist. I think I know how babies are formed. So I do have 8 with 1 wife, and it's been a great journey. I want to talk to you about just 3 simple things today, and the first is passion, the second is perseverance, and the third is pursuit. So passion. Many, many years ago when I was a senior resident, I had 2 interns. Now I've taken care of, I think, 180 interns, and this only counts when I've had them on the inpatient floor. And I felt that on the inpatient service is when I get to really discover, there's a lot of stuff that happens. Well, many years ago, I had 2 interns that arguably they're easily in the top 5, maybe the top 2 interns I've ever had. And certainly Colonel Foglia knows them, and these are icons within the Army OBGYN community and really the OB community at large. One of them is retired Colonel Pete Nielsen. The other one is retired Colonel Jay Carlson. And so I did my best as a senior medicine, internal medicine resident, Colonel Cho, and you know them too, is my goal, and I thought I failed residency and internal medicine because I did my best. You have to become a flea. You need to be an internal medicine doctor. Well, they were extremely passionate about their calling, and I am so glad as the Army and the national and really the world OBGYN community is grateful that Colonel Pete Nielsen, then captain, and Colonel Jay Carlson, then Captain Carlson, stayed with their pursuit. So I just want to encourage you to be passionate about what you do with OBGYN. Certainly in the next few years, you're going to be taking care of largely active duty service members and their dependents. And what a great high calling. We get paid by taxpayers to do a work, and they deserve our best. But not only that, we take care of soldiers. So I just want to encourage you, just like Dr. Nielsen and Dr. Carlson were passionate about staying with OBGYN in spite of my efforts, and I'm glad I failed. They were highly successful, and we have the fruit of that in Colonel Foglia and Colonel Wilson, who are also, at least from the perspective of Colonel Nielsen, maternal fetal medicine specialist. Okay, number 2 is perseverance. When I graduated from medical school, just before, one of my mentors said, now some of you are going to realize that you're walking across the stage and they're actually going to hand you a diploma, University of Oklahoma medical doctor, and you're going to think, how did I fake it for 4 years? Well, the good news is we all know it doesn't actually start there, because when you're in your internship, you're asking a lot of questions, and you asked a lot. Going back to Colonel Nielsen and Colonel Carlson, what I liked about them is they asked so many questions, and particularly for Jay Carlson. One time, I told him once, and the next day, he did something for a patient and said, hey, Sammy, so I remember what you said, and I did this. This is okay? I said, yes. And he asked enough questions until he realized that if he asked a question and he knew the answer, I wouldn't change anything. And I think Colonel Nielsen and Colonel Carlson did that, and the great interns I had. So, you didn't graduate from medical school. You actually are graduating from residency. When you go to your duty stations, and I know Captain Carney is going to stay here, but when you go to your duty stations, continue to ask questions to your mentors. When I first came here from Med-Peds residency, I asked a question about something very simple, and they kind of looked at me like, did you go through a pediatric? This was a pediatric patient. Did you go through pediatric training? Yes, I did. So be persistent to ask questions, and by asking questions, you realize, gee, they don't have the answer for me. And so I must be in a good place. And then number 3, it's about pursuit. Now, of course, I could say pursue your calling, but I'm a little different pursuit. What is significant in your life? And for all those who can hear me, what's significant in your life? So, when I met Joy many years ago, and you all who have significant others, I was Twitter-pated. I went head over heels over her. I couldn't think, I couldn't eat, probably my studies suffered a little bit. And someone who was very wise told me, Sammy, who was our marriage counselor actually, said, okay, you know how you feel right now about Joy? And this would be anything significant that you have in your life, a significant other or pursuit. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's church. Is remember when you first pursued her, okay, so I'm going to use my wife as an example. So if you're married, okay, for all those who are married, okay, particularly guys, this is PG now, okay, for all the guys in the room, you need your wife to know that you are pursuing her before you even touched her. And if you do that and make time every week to do that, the fruit of, well, you may have some children as a fruit also. But the fruit of that is much more important because you will build a legacy and you don't want to go through life alone. So whatever your significant other is, I encourage you. So just in summary, thank you that Jay Carlson and Pete Nielsen were passionate. No, Sam, you're not going to change your mind. We're going to pursue being a physician. They were passionate about that. Number 2, they were persistent. They asked great questions. I guess Dr. Nielsen still does, right? Yes. And then number 3, pursue your significant other. God bless you, and I hope you have a great, great career in life. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Choi, for such an inspiring speech. You just made me kind of shake on my bases because as a transitional intern, I was at Madigan, and Colonel Nielsen was there at the time, and I'm very familiar with his questions, so. A great guy, though. I would now like to invite Colonel Fogler and Colonel Colonel Wilson to the stage to present certificates and awards to our graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce the 2021 graduating class of Obstetrics and Gynecology Residency Program at Womack Army Medical Center. Come on, switch. We'll start with Alexandra Carney. She completed her Bachelor of Science in Applied Physiology and Kinesiology Exercise Science in 2010 from the University of Florida. She then attended the University of Central Florida to receive a Bachelor of Science with honors in Molecular Biology and Microbiology in 2012. Medical school followed at the Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine in Bradenton, Florida. She received her doctorate in osteopathy in 2017. She was then accepted into the Obstetrics and Gynecology Residency at Womack following her graduation. During residency, she served as the teaching fellow for the Uniformed Service University of the Health Sciences and earned the Excellence in Teaching Award 2 years in a row. She's a certified advanced life support obstetrics instructor, and she has also presented research at multiple local, regional, and national conferences. Aside from that, Dr. Carney has been to more Disney cruises than anyone else I know. But more importantly, Dr. Carney and her husband have been blessed this year with the birth of their son, Luke. And there he is. She'll be headed to Fort Stewart in Georgia. Their department is very lucky that she is joining them. Natasha Gui completed her BA in economics at Columbia University in New York City in 1998. She received her law degree from the University of Connecticut School of Law in Westford, Hartford, Connecticut, and was admitted to the Connecticut State Bar in 2005. Being a lawyer was not enough, though, for Natasha, so she then changed her focus to medicine. She completed her post-bac pre-medical studies at the School of General Studies at Columbia University. She was then accepted into the College of Osteopathic Medicine at Des Moines University, where she completed her degree in osteopathic medicine in 2017. She was accepted to the Womack OBGYN Residency program, where she graduates from today. She will continue here as an obstetrics and gynecology staff physician, and we all look forward to having you as a partner here. Congratulations. Christopher Hoyer. He completed his bachelor's in environmental health with a minor in military science and leadership from Purdue University in 2010. He then completed osteopathic medical degree from Alabama College of Osteopathic Medicine in 2017. Shortly after, he was accepted to the Womack Army Medical Center Obstetrics and Gynecology Residency Program, where he graduates from today. But Dr. Hoyer was not satisfied with being a specialist in OBGYN, so he decided to pursue a fellowship. I may be biased, but I believe he chose the wrong one. But either way, we're very happy and proud that Dr. Hoyer has been accepted into fellowship in female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. Congratulations. Thank you all. You may take your seats. Now, we will play a message from the Womack Army Medical Center Commander, Colonel Jarvis.
Hello, I'm Colonel Christopher Jarvis, Commander, Womack Army Medical Center. I want to take a brief moment to congratulate our graduates today. This is a tremendous achievement and culminates years of education and training. I know the road was not always easy. I have walked that road and I know it well. This persistent COVID environment has not made it any easier. Your graduation demonstrates your resilience in the face of adversity and the ability to accomplish the mission no matter the obstacles in the way. You are now prepared to take all this knowledge and wisdom out into the military health system to take care of service members, soldiers for life, and dependents. Be reassured that you are well educated, well trained, and ready to meet the demands of your chosen profession. Again, congratulations, and go forth and do great things.
Thank you, Colonel Jarvis. So I think the mere survival through an obstetrics and gynecology residency speaks volume of an individual. It is a test of endurance, intelligence, compassion, and most importantly, love for the specialty and the care that we provide to our patients. Most days it does bring us immense joy to be part of the miracle of life, but to learn how to deal with the other side of that coin is one of the most brutal experiences one goes through as a physician. However, that love that we share for this profession and the fulfillment that it brings to our hearts is what brings us back day after day and allows us to care and provide the best possible care for our patients. Remember to always focus on the positives. Doctors Carney, Gui, and Hoyer have learned this firsthand and have emerged as excellent physicians that they are today. I am honored to have them join us in the ranks of obstetrics and gynecology specialists. Thank you all for your devotion, hard work, and perseverance. I wish you all the best of luck, and from the bottom of my heart, congratulations. Please rise for the playing of the Army song. Thank you to the 82nd Airborne Quintet, Public Affairs Office, family and friends for attending the 2021 OBGYN Residency graduation. Please join us upstairs in our residency conference room for some refreshments and to congratulate our graduates. Thank you very much.